Hey everyone, Rob Schultz here. You're watching Test Driver, and in this episode we're going to be reviewing another one of my personal vehicles. This right here is my 2014 BMW 328i with the xDrive. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but it's super windy here, so let's go inside the vehicle and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. I've always wanted this car. You know, for years I was reading about how the BMW 3 Series was the benchmark car. It was the ultimate driving machine. And I felt like being a car guy, you know, owning a BMW 3 Series would be pretty awesome. But every time I went to go buy one over the years, they were always kind of stripped away from me at the last second. Whether that was the dealer changing the deal or some other person coming in and buying the exact car that I wanted moments before I got there, I just felt like I wasn't supposed to have a BMW. So 3 years ago when my wife and I went looking for a new vehicle, and we ended up at the BMW dealership and we found this vehicle, we loved it and we bought it. I felt like it was too good to be true. But here we are, 3 years later, I still own the car. It's been pretty much trouble-free. The only issues that I've had is I've had the driver's side and the passenger side door handles. They've broken. Both were covered under warranty. I've also had the center console leather. Very early on that started to peel. They replaced that under warranty. So yeah, the car has been pretty much maintenance-free over 55,000 miles. The original sticker price of this vehicle was just about $51,000, which I must be getting old because it's really shocking to me that vehicles cost so much nowadays. But I picked it up used. It was 1 year old, had about 8,000 miles on it. Bought it for $34,900 out the door. So that's BMW depreciation working in my favor. Spending time inside the interior of the BMW is not too shabby. I mean, it's very Germanic, you know, it's very minimalist. My wife actually finds the interior to be very bland. If it wasn't for the red leather seats, she wouldn't have been interested in this car at all. We test drove one that was all black on the inside, all black on the outside, and she just said it was boring. I have to agree. I think that the red leather really does something to spice up the vehicle, especially because it has the white exterior. I just think that that is like the perfect color combination for a BMW. This vehicle comes equipped with a few equipment packages. First and foremost, it has the M Sport package, which means inside we get the best steering wheel of any car I've ever driven. You also get these super comfortable, adjustable M Sport seats, which have really nice side bolsters to hold you in the into the seat in the curves. And then on the outside you get different 18-inch wheels, as well as a different aerodynamics package on the front, the sides, and in the rear bumper. It also comes with the navigation package, comes with the technology package, the premium package, concierge package, which I have no idea what the heck that does. I've never used it, probably never will. So this BMW surprisingly has made it through my 3 years of ownership with minimal modifications. I put a all black kidney grille up front. It has all weather floor mats, 35% window tinting all around, which has only got me in trouble once. And I debadged the rear. That's it. That's really atypical for me when it comes to getting a vehicle because I'm always looking to tinker and do things to it. I just haven't felt the need to really do that to this car up until now. I'm tired of sitting here and just talking about the vehicle. I want to do my most favorite thing in this vehicle, which is get out on the road and drive. Let's give it a little go here. You know, it's funny. I drive the Ford F-150, and I also have another daily driver that I'm going to introduce you to here sometime soon. But I drive those pretty much all the time. This vehicle has been retired. Once it reached around 60,000 miles, I handed over the reins to my wife, and she now drives it, and she puts maybe 200 miles on it a week, so it rarely sees service. And whenever we go somewhere as a family, we take the family hauler, the pickup truck. So I don't get to drive this car very much, and every time I get in it, I realize just how good of a car it is. Now, I know a lot of BMW purists are going to talk about how the E90 was like the pinnacle car, or the E46 is the car you need to have. But I don't have those. I have this, the BMW 328i, the F30 BMW, and having not driven those, I gotta tell you, this is an amazing car. It's got a little 4-cylinder with a turbo on it, puts out 240 horsepower, 255 pound-feet of torque, and that's plenty for this car. I know BMW underrates their power output from the factory, and I would say that this vehicle definitely is underrated. It's just peppy as hell. Now let's put the vehicle in sport mode. Actually, there's two modes. There's Sport and Sport Plus mode. They're very similar. I believe that Sport Plus just disables the traction control. So here we go. Yeah, as soon as I did that, you hear that the vehicle downshifts to get it into a peak power band. The steering becomes a lot tighter. The throttle response, it becomes stronger. And the vehicle just seems to kind of come alive. Like, you can really feel the BMW in the car when you put it in that. What makes it even more exciting is if you put the transmission in the sport mode as well. Again, you hear it downshift one more time. Yeah, you hear it. It holds on to the gears longer. It shifts a lot faster now that we're in the sport transmission. This is obviously the mode you want to drive it in if you're looking into spirited driving. BMW also has this little screen on the center console that I think is pretty cool. You can put it in sports display, which shows you your power and torque output. Okay, the last drive mode that I want to talk about is the Eco Pro mode, and I think that's kind of self-explanatory. That mode's there to get you the highest gas mileage. So the throttle becomes a lot heavier. You really got to push it to get the car to downshift. The steering is really light. And my favorite part of this mode is that when you're on the highway and you're cruising, if you let off the accelerator, you can actually see that the transmission shifts into neutral. So you're basically hypermaling to get the best fuel economy that you can. And to me, I just think that's pretty impressive. The car just has multiple personalities, and those personalities are there for you to get the kind of driving style that you want out of it. And to me, I think that's just amazing. I think that BMW has this car dialed in so well to accommodate the different ways in which you might be using the vehicle. So I know that you're probably thinking to yourself, this car can't be perfect, and you're right. There's a couple things about this car that I think are just weird. So a really good example of that is if you put the car in reverse. It has front and rear parking sensors. But if you put the car in reverse, the front sensors are active and will ding to let you know that you're about to hit something, even though in your reverse. Stupid. Another quirk about BMWs that I think is lost on people, and probably myself included if I'm being honest, is you see how you have this little dial here? I was told by BMW that this is to tint the air. So if you see here, we have the temperature set at 71 degrees. But let's say you want a 71 degrees that's a little warmer. You just slide it over that way. Or if you're one of those people that prefer 71 degrees to have a slight tint of chill in the air, you slide it over that way. The unlock button is in the middle of the car, right in the center of the dash. So once you get out of the car, to unlock the back doors, you either need to have the key on you, which surprisingly you don't always have, or you need to reach in and hit that unlock button. That feature drives my wife crazy. There's a lot of things in this vehicle that you have to do twice to make them happen. One is to unlock the door, you have to pull the handle twice. To turn off the car, you need to push the button twice. And to unlock the hood or do the hood release, pull twice. One of the other things that I can say I'm not a fan of with this vehicle is the sound of this engine. It's a wonderful engine. It has plenty of pep, but God, it's so raspy. I feel like I've watched every YouTube video on every exhaust with the hopes of finding something that I can do to this vehicle to make it sound better, but it just, everything sounds like crap. Well, that about wraps up this review. I think it's painfully obvious that I really enjoy this BMW. Be sure to click that like, subscribe stuff. What do YouTube people say? I don't know. We'll see you next time. This is Rob. You're watching Test Driver.